Or way back in the day, it was called Memel when it was part of Prussia. And here we are, the main square with the theater behind us. Well, you got the drama theater over there, and this one here. I'm sure it's an early morning wherever you are, but I thought we'd do a nice little walkthrough of Klaipeda, Lithuania. This is actually where I lived for 3.5 years. It was a long time here. It was a good time when I lived here. I just actually had shalti barshe, which is cold beet soup, which looks like a big bowl of Pepto-Bismol with some dill in it, but it tastes way better than it sounds. So definitely something you're gonna have to have when you're here. We might have a short or two about it coming in the future on our channel here, but I thought what I'd do is just kind of walk around and show you what Klaipeda, Lithuania is like, because I know that not a lot of people visit here, but I thought I'd show it. So here we got our main square, of course. And if you're down here, if you do a tour here, they will take you, travel there at 5:50 a.m. to be exact. That's right. Eric, what the hell are you doing up, buddy? You crazy bastard. Go back to bed. For me, go get some more sleep. But I thought it'd be nice just to do a day walk. So you see there's all these little, like, places, little kiosk kind of thing, little huts you can go shop at. And actually one of the coolest things to buy when you're here is amber, because like there's tons of amber in the Baltic Sea. So you know, if you're a Jurassic Park fan, here's a place you can go. But you can get like cheap little silly things like, you know, bracelets and necklaces and stuff, and I got some of those already for some of my nieces, and I got some other stuff for my boys, Babas. But what I thought I'd do today is just kind of like walk around Klaipeda and show you a bit, some stuff here. But yeah, I want to go buy some actually really nice amber stores so you can see some of the fancier stuff they can do. And here on the square there's some restaurants. I was actually just at that Etno Dvados place. They had good shalti barshe. They had a decent Lithuanian menu too. Anytime I see that Dvados word, I always know that I'm going to get some good Lithuanian grub. Now the food here is quite filling, I will tell you that. Like you have what's called zeppeline, and zeppeline, it's called zeppelin because it really looks like a zeppelin. It looks like a big potato, but it's not. It's actually a grated potato, but then they cook in this, like, kind of looks like what do they call it? The Hindenburg, a zeppelin. Yeah, they cook into a zeppelin shape, and it's got a big meatball inside, and then they put spiraguce, which is like bacon fat with bacon bits on top of it, and then you have grietine, which is sour cream on the side. Oh, so good. We were at a place out by Konus yesterday, which like has like the best, and it was amazing. But yeah, they love their sour cream here. You'll notice that sour cream pops up a lot on dishes. Like you might have a chicken pancake that has sour cream on the side. So do be ready for that. Yeah, Eric, they do fill you up here. Now it's not as cheap as it used to be. When I was here, it was still really affordable to, like, really cheap to live here. Then it was affordable when we were here about 5 years ago, but I can see the price has gone up quite a bit. I mean, I know there's inflation and everything, but like Lithuania has gotten a lot more expensive in the last few years, so it's not that super cheap, you know, European vacation thing that it used to be. So we'll walk by the Amber Queen up here so you can see some of the nicer pieces. So if Jocelyn's online, she can help me pick out what her gift should be, or what my mom's gift should be, because I know both of them are going to expect some amber from me. So, but you know, if I don't, since they're not watching, they won't know. So here, there we are. Let's move this over. Yeah, the world's crappiest gimbal. So you can get like they'll do like amber on the sails of a boat, or like the necklaces, the earrings, the rings are really cool. Like some really cool stuff in amber. I have some of these at my house actually. So you get all kinds of cool stuff out. There's like legit stuff you can get that's really good, and of course you can get the cheap crappy stuff too. But you know, all kinds of really cool amber products. So I'll let Jocelyn see everything. Then she can just, you know, let me know, babe, which one she's interested in. Or Eric, anyone you think she'd like, Eric, let me know. But they have all kinds of cool stuff. But literally, like, amber is the gift to get. If you're coming here, it's a souvenir, it's a gift. It's what you should get anybody that you want them to know or remember Lithuania. It's the jam. It's the jam. So we got to flew in from Finland yesterday, and I forgot when I lived in Finland, we always used to joke about Finnish logic and how the airport is set up in Helsinki. They have the little kiosk where you have to check in because when you drop off your luggage, there's nobody there. It's like the machines do it, because machines are taking over, right? Apparently. Oh, here's the tourism information. They were very nice. They have nice postcards in there too, so they can help you out. And then there, you can drop off your postcards right there. But when I was flying out of Helsinki yesterday, they they have the check-in things where you have to do your own kiosk, check-in for your flight. But it's right where you drop off your bags. Literally, there's 10 feet from the drop-off desk to where these things are. So there's actually no room for people to actually check in, and no room for people to wait in line to actually check in or to drop off their bags. So it turns into a complete utter mess. But then the middle of the terminal is completely empty because they had this great walkway, and I'm like, see, Finnish logic. Yes, we will have a horrible check-in experience, and that people don't ever go to because they can just walk right in. It'll be fine, and it's not. It was pretty funny. I have a short I'll put about that out later today, though, because it was kind of funny. Yes, I used to walk these streets quite often back in the day. Some of these used to be bars. Now it's a shop. So, interesting parking style. Yeah. It's funny. Here in Lithuania, they really like their cars. You notice they're all super clean. They're all super nice. Kept up, Whereas some places where you go, it's not as big of a deal. So if you're here and you mess with anybody's car, things will not go well. They have a definite affinity for that machina, just in case. So you want to see an old map of the city? There you go. But yep. I noticed that in Reykjavik Airport, less workers and more machines. Yeah, Eric. Yep. I lived 3.5 years in Lithuania. I lived here in Klaipeda, and then I worked here in Klaipeda, and I worked in Vilnius as well. So, nice little combination here. I'll give you a nice little view. Going over the river. So it's funny because there's a delivery company, like how we have Uber Eats, they have Wolt. So I always kind of laugh at that when I drive by or I walk by and see one. Let's see. One thing that's really interesting in Lithuania, you have a lot of superstitions in Lithuania. Very superstitious people, just in general, but there's some pretty funny ones. For example, you can't sit on the ground or the cement until the first thunder of the spring. Otherwise, your ovaries will freeze or your testes will freeze and you won't be able to have any babies, which I'm guessing why they explain why there's such a low birth rate. I don't know. So everyone's sitting down way too early. Another one is if you have a pair of scissors or a knife or anything, you never give it to your friend. You have to put it down and then your friend grabs it, because otherwise you'll cut your friendship. Yeah, spiders in your house. Hey, if it's crawling uphill, it's totally fine. If it's crawling downhill or down the wall, then it's bad luck. You can kill them. I'm like, so basically, if it's gonna bother you, you can kill it. It's fine. But if it's not, then you can't do anything. Kind of funny. Vitas. So you'll see the guy on the horse. That's actually on the euro here. That's one of their symbols here. And then the Meridianas. So you can just go have some drinks on there or some food. But they actually just redid the entire riverfront on the other side. There's a park down there for kids. Oh, hey, Booba. Bubba, Booba. Hey, Booba. Bubba, good to see you, everybody. But they redid it all, so you can walk all the way down. It took about 3 years to get it done, but it was actually really it's done a nice job. The park over there is very nice, and there's a really good play structures. Not just a play structure, but a play land. It's pretty nice when you are here. Now, you see those two buildings here? They make a K. Can you see kind of like that part of the K on this one, and this one's a D for Klaipeda. They started building those when I was here, you know, because that was all in the glass and steel stage. I don't know how good the construction was back in the day, but it was pretty funny. But it was a good time living here. I taught here. I did consulting here. Made a lot of friends when I was here. Actually here visiting my buddy Alvy. You see on our Instagram page, there's a picture of me with a huge smile on my face and with another bald guy. That's him. So fun times. What's cool is if you want, on the river, you can actually, you know, rent little paddle boat things and walk around with those, which is nice. Then on that side, you got bars and restaurants and stuff. We'll probably end up going over there next. Just kind of walking around. Not as nice as yesterday. This would have been really good to do yesterday because you had incredible weather. It was just like probably like 10 degrees warmer, completely sunny, so nice. Of course, then I probably just would have sat and had some beers with my buddies and some kept it well. The fried brown bread here, oh my gosh. The rye bread, the brown bread here is just incredible. And they fry it up with garlic, and you can eat it that way, or they fry it up with garlic and then it's got drizzled with cheese and mayonnaise together. Oh, it's so good. So good. I'm actually gonna make a video on like the best beer foods in Lithuania, because beer is really good here, but you gotta have the right snacky doos to go with it. So thought we'd do that. Let's see. So yeah, you got buses to go. So you have buses that go around, and then you'll see like minivans with numbers on them too. So those are a little bit quicker. Like not those, but like the minivans with fewer stops. I used to take those minivans all the way to Vilnius for school when I used to teach over there. So I get picked up at like 3:30 in the morning. So I would get in for like an 8 a.m. class. It was because it's like 4 hours to Vilnius from here. So I'll have to go down that way later. But let's see. Okay. Yeah, here you definitely want to make sure you cross with the light. Not because the people don't jaywalk, because they do, but it's because the locals sometimes drive a bit crazy and you don't want to get hit because no one's going to care. No one's going to be like, oh, that poor tourist. Nope. It's going to be, you hurt that dude's car, man. So just be aware. So yesterday when we came in, we went and had the Zeppeline, like I was saying. And it's funny because now here, there's like some other places, they don't just have like the cops with the like speed guns that test you. They have cameras in multiple positions, and they figure out how long it took you to get from one point to another. And then you get a ticket because, oh, you couldn't get here in less than 5 minutes, and you got here in 4 minutes, so you must have been speeding. Boom, ticket. So if you are going to be driving here, which I do recommend, Lithuania is pretty easy to drive around. The whole Baltics, really. Buses are the way to go. But if you're going to, but if you can rent a car, just rent a car and drive all around. Now you can't usually drop off your, like rent your car in Estonia and drop it off in Lithuania. You'll have to go back to Estonia for that. But it is something to look into because it is pretty easy driving. Big roads. They like their cars, so it's built more for cars. So you have that. Fun fact: that building right there, I used to go to the gym in. By around here. Back in the day, there used to be clubs over there. Good times, good times. So another thing about Lithuania, about Klaipeda itself, is this is a port city. So there's a lot of fishermen. I actually had a lot of friends whose dads were sailors. And there's a saying in Lithuania, you never blow out a candle, because if you blow out a candle, that means a sailor died. And I found that out when I was having dinner with a friend of mine, and her dad was a sailor, that when they were going around the Cape Horn, he was not there the next morning when he was on watch, so he just fell off. I'm like, oh, so that was one way to learn. So when you're here, there's actually a bunch of bars along here you can go to. Obviously, that's been new. That's they redid that one and the far one. You can kind of see the ones that are actually older, and then built other new buildings to kind of fit with it. So some bars and restaurants underneath there. And the thing is, when you eat in Lithuania, you have a lot of Lithuanian food. Like Lithuania loves Lithuanian food, and so you're going to have that. So whether it is the cutlets or the sour cream popping up quite often, you will notice there's a lot of Lithuanian food. And if you're not sure what something is, feel free to ask, because if people are working in the restaurant industry or anywhere, they're talking to customers because they know there's a lot of international tourists that come here, they'll speak English, or at least enough to kind of explain things to you. So that's always very helpful. If you see in the distance up there, you can see there's a cruise ship. That explains it, because there's a bunch of people that had no idea what Lithuania was at the square today. And I'm like, why are you in Lithuania if you have no idea what Lithuania is? So that's kind of funny. Hey, Tim, good to see you. Yeah, see a fully rigged. Yeah, that one is tied up all year round. And actually, if you come here in August, they have the Sea Festival, and this is a huge party, like a really cool place to be for the Sea Festival. Zrinko in Croatia, good to see you. Yeah, it does have a little bit of the New Haven feel, Tommy, but about a third of the price. And it's literally just like here you have stuff, then it's like normal restaurants, because then you come to the other side, you can see the old Soviet building, Soviet architecture. Actually, I'll show you. This far one here is very typical, like they prefab everything and then just bring it in and put it together. That looks like pretty much all my apartments I stayed at when I was here in Lithuania. So if you want to know the kind of place I stayed in, that's what it looked like. It's actually pretty funny. The first one I had, I always like to call it East German, bachelor pad, because it literally had a picture of freaking Lenin, no joke, on the wall, and it was like red velvet wallpaper, I guess you'd call it. Oh man, well, that was a cold apartment. Cold. So I see we have the rain has come. Lovely, perfect for a walking tour or just a walk around. Now, so another thing you might want to know about Lithuania. So it may be June, which means summer, which is summer for a lot of people. But actually here in Lithuania, summer isn't until July. So June is not really summer type thinking. So you'll see people are still more in their spring gear and stuff. But once we get to July, then you've actually got you've got the summer stuff. And that's when people start thinking more summer. They're grilling out more. They're going out more. I mean, they have the stuff ready, more paddle boats and things, but kind of interesting. And also, if you go to the beach, there's Smiltynė, which is the spit of land across the harbor. And I don't know if we're going to see it, but you can see it from the distance. You won't be able to see the beaches. The beaches are really wonderful, because actually the largest sand dune in Europe, or one of the largest sand dunes in Europe, is at the end of the spit, or the end of the Lithuanian part of the spit. And it's just gorgeous, but you have this beautiful sand that's there, and there's all these, birch trees and stuff. And I'm sorry if we lose our signal, because I'm walking underneath this metal thing. But it happens. There we go. We're back. Oh, I'm soaked. Anyway, so back in the day, there used to be a little ferry that went from right here that took you over there, but I think the ferry is farther down now. It takes you over. There's a ferry that will take you over to Smiltynė, and when you get over there, there's actually a oceanarium, dolphinarium, the kind of thing you can go see. And there's the beaches there you can go to. Get your little ice cream cones. And here's my favorite thing. In Lithuania, they have pre-packaged like joy cones that are already filled up. They're the totally cheapest, old schooliest kind of thing ever, but I love having them when I'm here. So when we were driving back from Vilnius to Klaipeda yesterday, my buddy's like, "You want to stop and get an ice cream?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And he gets like a Magnum. I'm like, "No. I want the old school Lithuanian style, baby." So I got Can you tell it's raining a little bit? Ah, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back that way so I can actually get onto the get on the other side, because I want to show you the stuff that's over there, because there's the remnants. Hold on. Oops. I see we have a spot. Can we see? So you see that kind of hill over there? So there used to be a castle on there. Now there's actually some museums you can see that are there. Actually, but like there's no castle stuff, but they've redone a lot of this stuff. So when I was here, none of this, well, some of this was here, but it was like more ruins. But they've rebuilt all this, making hotels and restaurants and stuff. And if you're coming in on the cruise port, you're going to be on that other side. You know what? I'm going to go over there to the other side because I'm going to go back anyway. So let me just clean this guy off. Yeah, because if it's pouring down rain, I like how this thing is the most worthless gimbal ever. I have this nice phone too, but the phone doesn't do a big enough job for like comfortable live streaming of your face. Anyway, I know seeing my face isn't comfortable, so it's probably best not to do it too much for the children, you know. But yeah. Let's just go this back over. So a fun fact, there's actually a English language university here, LCC University. It used to be called Lithuanian Christian College. Then they got their master's programs and all those things. So they went from a college to a university. So there's a number of exchange students that'll come here, take that. You actually have students from all over. They'll actually come get their degrees here. I actually taught there a long time ago. I had students from Ukraine, Belarus, Moldova, Ghana, US. So lots of stuff there. So let's see, you got your clock over there. I don't know. Getting my steps in the rain. Does it count more if I'm all wet? I don't know. I'll have to look at my pedometer when we're done with this and see what it says. But I don't know. So if you're watching, do you have any questions about Lithuania? I mean, I'm here. Might as well ask them. Do what I can. I mean, if I'm going to get pneumonia from getting rained on as I'm walking around in shorts in the rain, please let me know. Love it. Yeah, here the bike lane and walk lane is kind of a suggestion. Not everybody kind of follows it. For example, myself right now. My favorite Lithuanian food. Okay, so there's a few. But number one, probably kepituonas su sūrimanėse. So if you're not sure what that is, kepituona is fried brown bread with garlic, and then they melt like cheese and mayonnaise together and pour it on top. Sometimes you do it. I like when it's poured on top. It is so freaking good. Like when you see it, I remember the first time I saw it, I thought it was burned French fries. I'm like, what happened to your French fries? They're like, that's not French fries. It's kepituona. I'm like, kepituona what? They're like, yeah, it's fried brown bread with mayonnaise and cheese. I'm like, that sounds horrible. Yeah, and it's got garlic too, so you smell like garbage when you finish. So I was kind of laughing about that, and then I had it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. Actually, yesterday when my buddy picked me up, we went and had zeppeline. And then, for a start, I'm like, no, kepituona, and I need a beer. Because they actually have really good beer here. But yeah, that would be my favorite. Another good one I had that, actually had that for lunch today, was shalti barshe, which is cold borscht. And basically, it's a cold borscht soup, but it looks like Pepto-Bismol because it's pink, you know, because the borscht is white, or white is red. But in the chilling and they do all this stuff, it really looks like you're drinking a bowl of Pepto-Bismol. But it's amazing, like amazing. So you gotta have that. And then my favorite like treat, aside from that ice cream thing, I'd say would be šakotis, which is what you would call a tree cake. Like if you ever look up like Lithuanian sweets, that'll be the first thing that shows up. guaranteed every time. And it's just, it's a cake, it's on a spit, and as it rotates, they put the batter on it, and so it grows out like arms of a tree, so it's really kind of cool, like branches out. That's really cool. We actually have a video on that. Like, the boys loved it when they were here. So there's that one. So I hope that helped answer your question. So Catherine asked, Eastern Europe is usually seen as less developed than Western Europe. Is it still worth going to? Yes, it's still worth going to go to. I will say that for sure. I think if you're coming from the U.S., a lot of places in Western Europe, you feel like you're back in the U.S. And you can have that here too. I mean, the homogenization of cultures around the world is definitely a thing. But Eastern Europe is definitely a different trip. It's a different kind of trip. You have different museums. You have to realize a lot of Eastern Europe was wiped out during the war, or the Soviets just stole everything and took it with them when they left, or the Nazis destroyed it all, and then like Poland got wiped out and they just destroyed everything. So it's not like when you go to Spain where there's like a 500-year-old church that still has all their stuff. That happens. So it's a little bit different. I find Eastern Europe has got more, you see more nature-based things because it's not all cemented over like a lot of like Germany or Austria and stuff. So it's a little bit. It is a different kind of trip, I would say, but still worth it. Still definitely worth it. Okay, switch on. What I don't see is a lot of graffiti. Oh, there's some here. Don't worry. But this is like the downtown, so you don't see too much downtown. They're pretty good with that. Is there Russian influence here? So one of the interesting things about Lithuania, when you look at it compared to its Baltic neighbors, Estonia and Latvia, Lithuania never had a ton of Russians here during the Soviet Union. If you look at Estonia and Latvia, sorry, let me turn this off. If you look at Estonia and Latvia, I mean, they had like 40% of their population or more were Russians. You know? Whereas in Lithuania, I don't think you got above like 15% were Russian, Belarusian, non-Lithuanian. Because Lithuania is very proud of Lithuania, and they make sure that it's about Lithuania. So I'll let you read into that how you will. But I definitely feel more of a Russian influence in like Latvia than I do here. So, but there still are, you know, I think about 8%, 7% of Russians, like they're Russian Lithuanians. So they were born here, and what's interesting is a lot of the Russian Lithuanians that are here, they say they're Russian, but they really mean like I'm Lithuanian Russian, not like Russia from Russia. So kind of an interesting thing. Now, here's where the castle used to be, the fortresses. You can still see the embankments and the fortifications kind of here. So you can check that out. Old Mill Hotel. You can go see there if you want. So I'm going to walk over to the cruise ship and we'll finish up there. Is it windy? It's a little windy right now. I'm sorry if the sound is kind of bad, Eric, but it's just a little windy. It's not usually too bad, except right when you get to the coast, then you'll have some definitely wind then. Reggie Interman, Donka, bitte. Got some boats. I had a friend of mine that had a boat here, and he did not sail very well. And I had to drag it down the spit back to the harbor, like literally with a rope on the side, and drag it back. That was not fun. I do not recommend that. I do not recommend that at all. Oh, so if you're coming to Lithuania, like, soups are always a cheap option for food. Like my soup this morning, my soup for lunch was €3.70, and my beer was $3.95. So it's actually, my beer is more expensive than my shelty borschi soup. So kind of funny that way. Oh, see that like wind sock thingy right here, the wind indicator thing? There's a lot of those on Nita, and it's kind of like a cool tourist thing to buy. Cool souvenir. We have some at our house, but they make some cool ones here. Also, wood carvings are a big thing. You'll see that around. If you actually go across over to the other side, there's a bus that'll take you down to Youthkrafta, which is like where the Witch's Hill is, and they have all these wood sculptures, and it's really, really cool. Like they have like the gates of hell, and there's like this little devil at the end of it, and there's all this wood stuff you can go see, and it's really, really cool. Like really cool. And you walk through it, and you have that, and you go farther down towards the border with Kaliningrad, And you've got Nida, which is kind of like one of their beach resorty kind of places. You can go down there and eat, but that's where you have the big sand dunes you can go to and see and hike on those. So really kind of a cool thing, but it's really just, you know, right over there. And then let's see, because I'll walk down to the end there at the statue, and you can see the Seven Seas Splendor. I don't know who that is. Regent? Gonna have to watch Gary from Tips for Travelers. Gary Bembers, he's my go-to cruise guy, or Live in La Vida Lido. They do a good job too. Give you all the cruise news kind of stuff, so I'm sure they would know. Public transportation system. So you got buses and minibuses that go all over the country. There is a train that'll go from Klaipeda to Vilnius. Honestly, don't know how fast it is. I haven't taken it. It's been so long. But yeah, you're fine with it. You're fine with public transportation when you're here. I mean, it's fine. It's not spectacular. It's fine. There's the ferry. So we're going to take the ferry over. You're going to be on the other side of the river for that. It goes over there, and then you can't see it, but over there, like over here-ish, there's the dolphinarium, or the oceanarium, or the sea museum, I think they call it. So that's it's worth going, just if you got kids. They got stuff there for you. Of course, you got a guy fishing. Typical kind of thing. And then you got part of the ports coming through. And you'll see there'll be big ships coming through here, because this does not freeze over in the winter, so Klaipeda is a major port on the Baltic Sea. Which is funny, because if you go a little bit farther up to Palanga or Liepaja in Latvia, like you will literally see like the waves will freeze in the winter because it's so cold. So kind of interesting. Anyway, so we're gonna wave goodbye when we get up here. Anybody got any last minute questions? Oh, Richard, man, we just got back from Europe. I've been over here. It's amazing visiting family and friends. Yeah, it was really cool to see my friends again. Like seeing Alvy today or yesterday, I was just like, oh, so excited to see him again. No, there is no, the canal boats, there's just like little paddle boats you can go on. They have that. So, yeah. If you need to get your ship worked on, they got some shipyards here for you. Hats off to you for doing the live in this weather. Yeah. It stopped raining just now, Catherine, so you maybe bless me to keep me from getting too This is like that wickable fabric, so it like just sucks it in. You're like, yeah, it wicks it away. Yeah, on the inside, but when it's wet on the outside, when it's wet on the outside, you're screwed. So there is that. Anyway, get our last little view of our buddies here. The dog and the boy waving with his hat for the incoming sailors. So, cool. Yeah, I just thought I'd walk around Klaipeda, the downtown, the Cena Miestas, the old town, give you a feel for it. So if you're going to be coming through, you have an idea what to expect. I think I'll probably we're going to be in Italy soon, so I'll be doing some of these in Italy, probably one in Vicenza,